Hey, Dr. Moore and everyone in our class. I am very sorry I couldn't be in class today, but I am doing this recording. So, my name is Bridget Desiltel, as I don't know if all of you know, and I'm going to talk to you about my lesson plan. Basically, I have a Frozen themed lesson plan, like my shirt goes with the occasion. Thought it'd be a little festive. So, I have a 5th grade class. And the subject area for this lesson plan is language, arts, and reading. And the lesson plan is called Underneath the Frozen Princesses. So what we're going to focus on here is plot, setting, time period, architecture, culture, things like that in stories and movies both. And what we're going to show here is that in the movie Frozen, similarities and differences can be seen in the fairy tale that Frozen was actually made off of. So the fairy tale that Frozen was based off of was called The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. And so basically, before this mini lesson that I wrote my whole lesson plan on, the students have already gone over what a fairy tale is. They've gone over plot, setting, and defined all of those terms, and they've already actually watched the movie Frozen in class. That was part of, the whole unit. But so during my lesson, basically, the main focus here is critical thinking and reading comprehension, and being able to look at how the setting of a story, even in the movie, really affects everything else. So the setting includes, the time period, the place, the architecture, the weather, the whole feel of the movie or story. So basically, how the whole lesson, like actually me teaching it, is gonna go is first I will tell the students, ask them about, I'll start with setting, so I'll start with place. So the Snow Queen and Frozen actually are set in like a Norwegian area. So I'm first going to show the students Norway on a map. Ask them if anyone's been to Norway, which probably they haven't. Ask them if they know anything about their culture. And how I'll access prior knowledge is by asking the students also about the Frozen movie, because that's a way where all of them have probably seen the movie. If not, then I'll explain what the other students are saying about the movie, and then I will ask them also about the Snow Queen. So here for prior knowledge, I have asking them about the movie, asking them about the fairy tale The Snow Queen, and also asking them about the setting and the place of the story and movie, which is Norway. And then I will show the students the original Snow Queen by Henderson, and I'll emphasize the setting because that's what a big focus is here. And after showing them Norway on a map and getting their background knowledge, since the class has already watched Frozen in the past lesson, we will discuss the architecture, weather, time period, and culture as it's depicted in the movie and through the illustrations in the cover of the Snow Queen, because it's important that these students understand that the title and the cover also have a big part of, of what the author puts in to their story. So basically what we're going to do here is on one half of a large sheet of butcher paper, so we're going to start, we'll chart and review the setting of Frozen, including architecture, weather, time period, and culture. So that whole side will be about Frozen, which they've already watched in the past. And then the class will, and I'll ask them some questions such as, why was Elsa's secret so important to hide? I don't know if any of you guys have seen Frozen, but that's very important. What does this have to do with where the story was set? So if you've seen the movie, you know that her secret is, she has ice powers. So this has a huge part to do with the setting because it makes everything ice and snow, which is a catalyst for everything else that happens in the movie. And I'll ask them some more questions to start a discussion. And then I will introduce Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen, and I'll give them a short book talk about it, explain the summary a little, then I'll have them read little excerpts of each of the parts of the fairy tale, because it's like broken down in parts. So basically they'll get into groups of 2, which I have set up ahead of time, making sure that my ESOL students, who really aren't, which I have 4 in this class, who really aren't, really fluent in English, will be with my higher level reading students. This way, if they get confused on something that they're reading or something like that, they can ask their partner, and they'll be reading it together so they can discuss things together and really work off of each other. And as well, for my ESOL students, I will also give them a copy of The Snow Queen in their home language, and I really think that will help. I'll give it to them in their home language and in English. This way, it will be better for them. And then after the students have read through The Snow Queen together, I'm going to ask them the same types of questions I asked them about Frozen. And then on the other side of the butcher paper, we will write everything about the Snow Queen, and this way the students can see the comparisons and the contrasts of the movie Frozen and the actual original fairy tale that the movie came from. And then after this, I'm going to have the students actually, after our discussion and everything, I'm going to encourage the students to continue discussing and comparing as I start to hand out the sheet for our next project. And basically for the next project, they will be writing their own Frozen story, and they will have to take into account setting as, the main thing, time period, what the feel of their story is. And it will have to do with, something Frozen, really, but whatever story, their imagination wants to create. So basically for my ESOL students, the main things I have are giving them the Snow Queen in their home language and setting them up in partners with my higher level reading students, because I really believe that will help them. So basically in this class I have 3, so it's 3 ESOL students, 2 Spanish and 1 Creole. And I do have 1 ESE student, which he has a speaking deficiency. So for him, I actually have him in an intervention plan, which I explain more thoroughly in my lesson plan. So basically my focus here was reading comprehension and understanding the setting in both movies and stories, and showing that they can compare and contrast, even in something so similar as, the movie coming from this actual fairy tale. I don't want to take too long, but I want to see what else I want to explain. So basically, really that partnering and giving the ESOL students this sheet ahead of time with their home language is really going to help. And basically to assess them, the main thing will be that writing assignment, because they have to have all of the elements that they learned in this lesson into that writing assignment. And this will really test their knowledge if they understood it or not. So, sorry. I hope that you guys liked my lesson, and I enjoyed this class a lot, and I just want to say good luck to everyone. Thank you guys.